So I wanted to get a little bit of real-world experience using this AI processing, and I wanted to see if this could actually be used to improve audio of a camera top shotgun microphone that is 6 feet away. To do this, I set up a camera top shotgun microphone in my living room, which is a massive room that is untreated. I recorded some audio, and let us go to that sample. All right, out of curiosity, I am back in my living room, my untreated space. I have the Rode camera top microphone set up, and again, 6 feet away from the camera and 6 feet away from the microphone. This is my very first experience trying Adobe Podcast AI, so I will go ahead and turn on the processing right now. That was my attempt at a snap. I suck at snapping. I don't know if you could hear that. But this is what Adobe Podcast AI would sound like if you are running it on a microphone that is 6 feet away from you in a completely untreated space that is 30 feet long, maybe? 15 by 35, maybe? I don't know. A big untreated room. Here is how it would sound. This is the untreated audio. And this is the treated audio. Here is the untreated audio. And here is the treated Adobe Podcast AI audio. Dario, thank you very much for the video submission and the recommendation. If anybody wants to check out Dario's channel, I will link it in the episode notes. And also, if you want extensive and in-depth testing and demonstrations of Adobe Podcast AI, I will link SoundSpeed's video in the episode notes as well. All right, I just listened back. I was surprised at how bad this sounded. I was expecting this to be a lot better. Based on how impressed I was with Adobe Podcast AI from the Scottish Watches sample, based on a couple of samples from the SoundSpeed's YouTube demo that he did, I was expecting some decent results here. No, I don't think that was usable at all. It sounded incredibly artificial, incredibly robotic. My voice was getting cut off. It didn't sound like me. I think that was unusable. I think the camera top audio is pretty damn bad, but I would choose to use the camera top audio over that Adobe Podcast AI processing. I have heard this processing do wonders. But it seems as though once you get farther than a couple of feet away from the microphone and you have too much reverb, it falls apart. I would never be okay with that audio. That was brutal. I appreciate the recommendation and the voice submission, the video submission, because it did light that fire under me to actually start testing this out, trying it out. I'm surprised to say I am extremely disappointed with the processing that it did, and I would not be using that. So if you have the budget, if you have the technical capability to improve your audio before you start recording, do that. I know Dario would agree with this. I know every single recording engineer, every single audio engineer, every single audiophile, every single audio curator would agree with this. Before you hit record, make sure your audio is as good as it can possibly be. Do not rely on post-processing to fix garbage audio. Garbage in, garbage out. You should get your audio to that 95% perfect level and then use the post-processing to add that last 5%. I think that's the purpose of post-processing, not, this sounds like garbage, let's try to fix it. Now, I am not saying that Adobe Podcast AI has no use. It is clear that it has plenty of uses. If you have a recording on your phone, you're just out and about, and you run into somebody and you need to record, but you want it to sound a lot better, absolutely, it can do that. You don't have a situation where you can set up 4 microphones. Getting a Yeti, putting it on Omni, maybe that will work. That is an application for this processing. If you have the technical know-how, the tools at your disposal, do not get complacent because of this. Do not rely on this to fix your audio. I found that appallingly bad. That was terrible. And I would be disappointed in myself and in the final product if I said, oh, you know what, audio's not great. Whatever, man. We'll just roll with it. We'll fix it in post. Adobe Podcast AI. Let's go ahead and fix it there. And I don't think that's what Dario is recommending. I don't think Dario, to be clear, I am not coming at Dario. I am just pointing out, I don't think anybody should be relying on this. This should be a last-ditch effort. This should be the last tool in your tool chest to fix up audio. Step 1 is always and will always be get your audio as good as you possibly can before you hit record. Because of that rule or law, it should be, and because of the test that I just made in the untreated space, running that through Adobe Podcast AI, my recommendation to Metis holds true. Don't put a shotgun microphone 6 feet away from the sound source on top of your camera. Get the shotgun microphone 12 inches away. You're 5 feet closer to the sound source. It will sound infinitely better, even if the microphone that is 6 feet away is run through Adobe Podcast AI.